Welcome. This is Love Those Best, and I'm going to talk about this mess. This mess. But George Floyd, probably the only and last video I would make, but not necessarily him. Particularly like Candice Owens, and all them people, basically for the right, left, and everybody else. Let me tell you something. The question is, and ask, should we be raising this guy up as a martyr? Was he, first of all, let's say that he didn't go out of his house expecting to die that day. No, he didn't go out trying to die for a cause. So he didn't. He doesn't fit the definition of a martyr. Okay, you may make him into one for your cause, but that's just you're just using him for your cause without his permission. Most of these people are just using him for their cause without his permission. First of all, I don't think we don't know. I don't know the guy. None of these people who go stand up in defense of him know him at all. They do not. This man could have been a serial killer 4 years ago. They don't know. Okay, they just falling behind some dude because he was innocent at the time. But the fact of the matter is this: it doesn't matter what. By the end of the day, to them, it don't matter what his past was. This man could have been a serial killer. He could have been a rapist. He could have been anything evil. He could have been a child molester. Anything under the sun. They don't know him, and they probably don't care. Fundamentally, you can tell some of these media don't care because all they do is report it. Oh, he's misleading. How do you know? Did you even look at this criminal record? They're being liars. They openly lie and openly lie to the public about the truth about George Floyd for their own purposes. Feel me? But by the end of the day, it doesn't matter what his past was. They had history, yes, there. Which they found out that those two guys had history with each other prior to this incident happening. Which I'm not sure if we're going to believe the testimony of one person. He said the guy was intimidated by him because he's black. We don't know why he's intimidated. If he was scared of him, and I don't know, aggressive African Americans because he feels intimidated. But how would she know? Did she ask him? She claims he told her, but she also could be lying. But again, we don't know. But the fact of the matter is, no way to verify it. This is her personal opinion or interpretation of the facts, interpretation of his actions, not the actual facts. People don't care about facts; they care about people's opinions and turn them into facts. But that's beside the point. The right is not doing themselves any justice by trying to bring up his past because people don't care about that. The fact of the matter is, why can't we just say the man died? A man, innocent man died by the hands of police. It's that simple. Very cut and dry. It doesn't matter whether he had a criminal record. It doesn't matter if he was the worst person on earth. Now, that's my personal opinion. He didn't deserve to die. Not nobody saying he deserved to die. But what is your purpose beyond bringing it up? Yeah. Oh yes. Okay. I know his purpose. What the purpose? Because they're making him out to be this saint. This saint who got killed by the police. Angel never did nothing wrong. He just hallelujah. Oh, he never did anything wrong. He was an angel his entire life. He never jaywalked. Never did nothing wrong. He died. Just comes and kill his innocent human angel being. Billy, know this. We live in a wicked world. And wickedness as you can see, is continuing to spread like a disease. You got people wanting to get rid of the police, which is ridiculous. Get rid of the entire criminal justice system, which is ridiculous. Get rid of, release all the prisoners, which is also ridiculous. With the, you know why? Because it's the assumption that everything's racist. Get the freak out of here. And all these stupid governors out there piggybacking off of this stupidity because they think Twitter makes the majority of their constituents. Okay? Makes me sick. Okay? Defunding the police is not going to do anything but cause chaos and destruction. Who you gonna call, Ghostbusters, when you get robbed? I mean, yeah, so we go on YouTube right now. You can go on YouTube right now. Somebody ask that actual question. What are you gonna do, call, if we get rid of the police? And some dumbass dummy from Minnesota who's sitting on the city council because she's a retarded. Somebody put her on. Somebody put this moron on city council for some reason. How about something that might need to check their privilege? Get the freak out of here. Everybody wants security. Everybody needs to feel protected by an organization. You are misguiding the facts for your own political gain. Okay. It isn't privilege to want protection. It isn't privilege to want to be protected. Your stuff protected, your life protected, your security. That's what cops bring. That's why we have enforcers of the law for a reason. 9 reported cases of unarmed people, black people, killed by the cops in the last 2 years. 9. Like maybe 12 in the last 2 years. It's not a lot of people. In comparison to 42 million people, that's not an example of hunting people in the streets. You have more chance of getting killed by your own kind than you do getting killed by police officers. I've had at least 5 encounters with police, and none of them ended up with me losing my life because I'm still here. So, I never had a negative experience with a police officer because I'm not color of my skin. Everybody breaks the law and they claim racism because they got stopped. They're caught. That's how it works. You get caught speeding and then you claim, oh, he caught me, got me, I'm black. Like, really? Were you speeding? I was only going 5 years speeding. Okay? It doesn't matter if you're going 1 or 5 over. You're still speeding, technically. Technically, you're still breaking the law. Technically, because you're going 1 over or 5 over, you're still technically can stop you for speeding. Now, they told you there was a grace period, but they don't have to honor it. Why? Because they're the police. They're your parents, okay? Depending on which parent you get around, they want to be strict, they want to be lax, they want to be in between. You ride no chance. But most likely, you're not going to stop from going 5 over. The only time you get stopped is going at least 10. I've seen somebody go to court for 9. I've seen somebody I was in court the other day and seen somebody get a ticket for going 64 and 55. That's only 9. 9 over. That's only 9 over, but technically speaking, that's speeding. Still got fined. Let me tell you something. Another thing, the time for arguing is in court, not at the stop. That's the main problem why things get escalate too much. Y'all want to argue with the police officer. That's not the time to argue. Time to listen and obey. Don't ask, why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? Comply and do what you're told, and then you can ask the judge to ask the cop why he did what he did. Okay, if you feel like you're innocent of any wrongdoing. This is a general rule. There are anecdotes where this does not apply, but they may be different. But the fact of the matter is, there's always anecdotal evidence. You will always find things that are not in the file. Okay, let's don't follow the rules. That's why I say anecdotal should not be used as evidence of a fact. It's always been the case to use majority rules as a rule, not anecdotal evidence. because you can always find somebody doesn't follow the rule by the rules in any situation, not just criminal justice. In any doctors, recreational, police, dentists, there's rules, and then there's things that just go outside the box of that rule. You're gonna always find something of that matter. Then you think people need to stop saying things are myths when there's cases that it exists. Because the word myth means it doesn't exist. Stop using the word myth when when talking about a topic that's actually a legitimate thing, and you just don't think it's as bad as they're saying it, but it's not a myth. There's a difference. Wrong words makes you lose credibility. If you use the wrong word, and when you're talking about something, you lose credibility. For example, coronavirus. People are calling COVID-19 a myth. It's a myth. A myth means something that doesn't exist. If you want to say COVID-19 isn't as bad as people are saying it is, then say it. But don't call it a myth, because it isn't a myth. You lose your credibility when you call something a myth that's not a myth. Okay? If you're going to say that it's exaggerated, and say COVID-19 is a bit exaggerated, don't call it a myth. It is not a myth. It is a real disease. Call it for what it is, not what. Don't exaggerate a term to fit your own there without saying that they're exaggerating, because you're doing the exact same thing when you call it a myth. You're exaggerating a term. Usually when I do speeches, but I never get at keeping it. I like to say whatever I want to say out right away. That's how it works. That's why I don't make as many videos. I'm gonna break it down later. I'm gonna pull it, talk about fucking points I made in my other videos. But back to the matter is this. Talk about BLM. BLM is not a real organization. It is, and it isn't. I'll explain. It's been taken over by radicals, racists, black people, and white people. All together. It's been taken over by black and white racists. Racists against white people, racists who are racist against their own selves, and black racists who are racist against white people. These are wicked people who want nothing more than anarchy and division. They don't want unity because it would bring something that would actually bring unity and not crazy stuff. They want to bring wickedness into the streets. Talking about abolishing the entire justice system. As asinine as that is. This is what you get when you listen to racists. Okay? Racism. You're crying about racism in America by being racist yourself. It's like Pharisees, hypocriticalness is running rapid in America. That's why America is falling apart at the seams. Too many hypocrites running the show. Too many people having double standards running the show. People liars running the show. Confusion running the show. Ungrateful people running the show. I mean, all these terrible people running the show. All they want is power. All they want is the power, the admiration of 10% of the population. These radicals don't even make up the majority of even their constituents. That's what's crazy. They just have the biggest mouths of their constituents. That doesn't make them the majority. Majority of the Democratic Party are maybe not as crazy as people may think. They have a bunch of big mouths in the back of the room who have bigger mouths than everybody in the room. But the problem with that is that if you remain silent, you are automatically in agreement with the big mouths. That is the rule. Your silence means you agree. If nobody talks against this nonsense, then they agree with the nonsense. Silence is a sign of agreement, not a sign of disagreement. People, they talk facts. The difference between the right and the left is at least the right brings evidence to why they believe what they believe. The left brings emotions to the table. That's all they bring. They bring emotions. They bring anecdotal evidence. They say, we'll look at all these cases of this, that, and the other. But the fact of the matter is, they don't bring nothing to disprove the other side's case. They just say it's a lie. And assume that people are going to just accept the fact. And people will, their side will believe nonsense because they're emotionalist. They only operate in emotions, which is they worship their feelings, they worship their emotions, and this is what we have. We have a bunch of people who worship their emotions and their feelings, and above all else, above evidence, above facts, above tangible evidence and facts, they worship their own feelings and emotion. They reject the truth for a lie because feelings, the idolatry of feelings, the idolatry of emotion. This is why you have whites in the street because they worship and idolize their emotions, their feelings over truth. Say that we are the ones who deny the truth. They are the ones who know the truth. But that the matter is, where is your evidence to disprove their logic? You just say they're wrong. That's not proof. Your emotions of you being upset by what they say is not proof that they're wrong. You get into debates with the right and you lose the argument, and the first thing you do is you attack their character because that's all your masters told you how to do. When you lose a battle because you don't have no weapon to fight with, you don't have real weapons. You have your emotions, and your feelings to fight with, and then when they bust you over the head with some real stuff, you ain't got nothing to fight with. When they break through all that nonsense you trying to speak, you may come with some truth, a little bit of truth sprinkled in you that they'll agree with, but then by the end of the day they overwhelm you with the facts, and then instead of accepting the truth, you reject it, and then start on an emotional attack, a physical attack. You start attacking their character. You start attacking their life. You're attacking their children. You start threatening their children because you can't win a fight but save your life. You can't win a debate. You lost the fight. You lost the fight. We spend too much time crying over things that are past as though people can go back in time and change what happened 400 years ago, or 100 years ago, or 50 years ago. Like, these people were not even alive during those times, so why are you bringing this crap up? What is the point? You don't understand. Do you not get it? What is the point of them changing if you're going to always hold it over their heads for the rest of their life? Something they ain't never been alive to experience or never did to you personally. They never put you in chains. You ain't never been in chains. You never experienced slavery. But you want to hold it over there because your ancestors were slaves. Everybody's ancestors were slaves. Get over yourself. Everybody's ancestors were slaves. The Jews were slaves for 400 years. The ancestors were slaves for 400 years. For years. Hundreds of years. You don't see them complaining the fact that they were slaves during Egypt times and the Bible times over 2,000 years ago. Imagine them holding it over the Egyptians' heads till this time. Oh, not only were they slaves for 100 years, they were slaves multiple times. Were enslaved by multiple nations. There's two different forms of slavery, not just physical. When another country takes over you and holds you hostage, it's a term of slavery. You enslaved, the nation enslaved you, forced you to stay in their lands, forced you to to abide by their rules or whatnot. America wasn't the first to have slaves. For one, let's get the facts straight. Yeah, America wasn't the first to have slaves. But like America's the only one guilty of slavery. Islam had slaves first, and they treated black people worse than Americans, the American colonists did. Okay, southern colonists did actually, more south than north, but technically I digress. The people itself, only rich people had, the people with the most money had slaves. We know that to be fact. It was a form of income. But it's a time of their time. It's no longer a time of this time. We see people doing dumb stuff like canceling stuff because, oh my God forbid, they show something in the past because you might offend somebody. God, people, blessed is those who do not get easily offended by each and everything on the freaking planet. You have a pathetic life if you get offended by every freaking thing on earth. You won't have a life. You have a life of anger and regret. You don't have a life of suffering. All you do is get offended and outraged about everything under the sun. You look for stuff to get offended. You wake up in the morning and find stuff to get offended by. Oh my goodness. This is why you and I have peace. My problem, and now I got no topic. Not, so I'm going to say about last thing, but we go back. I'm going to get back on track. Before we get back on track, and you spend too much time worrying about race. You want chasing your tail, worrying about race all the time, all the time, all the time. Race this, race that. You are living a pathetic life. Wait this, wait that. You are a racist. Why don't you admit the fact that you're a racist? And we all get on with our lives. Stop trying to change the definition to justify your own racism. Anybody, I don't care what race they are, talking about another race in a negative light is a racist. Not just any negative light. Can't be just anything. If you have a real beef with them for a justified reason, it's not a racism. But the matter is this. You go around everything you do. You go to a restaurant and the first thing you think about is what everybody else is talking about you when you walk in the store. You are a racist. You have some form of prejudice or racist. You may not hate the guy, but you have a prejudice. And that prejudice discredits you in your statements about racism. It's all in your freaking head. All in your mind. You imagine it. You walk into a room, you think everybody's thinking about you. That's called narcissism. That's what a narcissist would say. Think, because speaking, narcissists think everything's about them. Like, nobody's, but in reality is that nobody cares about you. Nobody's in there worried about who's walking in the door. Nobody cares that you walked in the door. They're minding their own business. They're not paying you no attention. You all in your freaking head. But you the one think that somebody's looking at you. You the one who thinks that someone's paying you mind. Because it's all in your freaking head. You have been brainwashed into believing that somebody cares about what everything you do because your skin color. 35 years. Guess how many actual racist moments I had in my entire life? None. One. Maybe. One. In 35 years. One. I'm aware of. You know, I've talked to people who may be a little bit prejudiced. I talked to a guy back in the country. He said some weird stuff. He was a weird but nice fella. Yeah, he kind of off a little bit, talking about some of the N word was really meant what to be. It meant ignorance, but he still shouldn't use the word. Period to refer to a black person. I don't care if what the true meaning of it is, because it was wrong to begin with. But let me tell you something. You don't fight racism with hate. Okay, that's not how it works. You can't fight hate with hate. That's the most ridiculous way of battling racism I've ever heard of in my life. It never works. It only begets more hate. And you end up with this situation we have today. People who hate one another for no reason. Hate, victimized racism. What the craziness, you never heard that terminology before. I have a new word that I made up. A new word that fits the situation we have today. We have a bunch of victimized racists. Racists who think they are victims. We got that. It's kind of hard to find a cure. They think they're victims. They think they're justified in being racist. So think they can be the it's a two-pronged attack. Okay, on one hand you got the victimization, and then you got the racism. They're not just regular racists. It'd be simpler if they were. But then you can easily correct it by education. But because they think they're victims as well, or oppressed, even worse. An oppressed racist is the most hardest person to change than a regular racist who just hates people. Because one, they think they're oppressed. Then two, they don't like the other race. So technically speaking, not every black person hates white people. Okay, we gonna say that right now. But it's growing. It's unfortunately there are too many people spreading hate, and it's contagious. It's like a disease. It's like cancer. The more people who hate and spread hate, it spreads throughout the body and affects the entire body. Until you find a cure and some treatment to treat it. Okay. And I don't know what again. These people over here talking about releasing prisoners and all this other nonsense have completely ignorant. They don't know how police work at all. At all. They're a bunch of criminals. Okay, they probably have a criminal past that they know. They, more than likely, they're criminals. Most than likely, either they're criminals or they support criminals. Right from or their family members in jail, which like most of them are ignorant. Ignorant. I mean, ignorance instead of ignorant. Like a really folly ideas that are folly by nature because of what they've been taught in school. And by communists, the teachers who teach them nonsense. They're ungrateful. They don't appreciate nothing given to them. They want to tear down what God's put in place. But this is expected from the world. Not so much for those who claim to be Christ followers. Do these people realize that God's the one who put these things in place and you're the one asking for them to be taken down because feelings? You trying to dismantle what God put in place and you call yourself a Christian? You trying to tear down the system God put in place and you call yourself a Christian? How in the world do you live with yourself? Mm? Even hypocrites. Okay, I guess that's why you're no point is you're a bunch of hypocrites. You don't walk, you don't practice what you preach. You preach, you know the word, but you don't practice what you preach. You just go around, join the crowd and stupid without giving one iota idea to the Bible you claim to read every day. Oh my goodness, do y'all even read the Bible? What, do you know the police, and judicial system, and everything form of government is put in place by God Himself? You're asking for them to defund it because of what? False statistics, liars who go on TV and lie about the realities of the world. The reality is that not every cop is evil. The reality of the world is that there are cases of police brutality, but the fact of the matter is that it affects everybody, not just black people. Trust me, I know because I took criminal justice. They showed me the pictures. It wasn't majority black. It was mostly Mexican. Hispanics should be riding the streets right now because technically most of them were Mexicans or Hispanic of Hispanic descent immigrants. Okay, and there were some white people. There was a few black people in it. There was mostly immigrants. Maybe some look more beat up than others, but now you're gonna find anecdotal evidence of police. You're often gonna find cases of police brutality that's kind of obvious because it happens. Nobody's denying that it happens. The fact of the matter is, what they're saying is that not. It's a problem, but not just with the black community. Only. And defunding the police is not going to help anybody at all. They claim it is. The only reason why they're saying that is because they want anarchy in the streets. Okay. Why don't they be honest? Stop being disingenuous and pretending that they're care for the lives of everybody else around them when they only care about self-interest. They want to dismantle the police and court systems so they can go around breaking the law what they want to. Anybody foolish enough to do this is a fool. And trust me, we know a few of them. Foolish enough to do it need to get their head examined. Because one, there is somebody who is actually foolish enough to try to do that. People in Minnesota, for instance, where this crime actually happened. They'll be trying to pander to 10% of the population. We need to defund the police. My neighbor said, what are we going to do if somebody breaks in our house or kills our children? Nope. You know what you do? You tell them, okay, I tell you, go rob the person who defunded the police house and see how much they want to reinstate the police then. Because technically speaking, the moment that it happens to them, they're going to be trained to get the police back instated. They want to talk about privilege. Oh my goodness. So privilege means you don't deserve a right for your own protection. What privilege, you idiot? They're not rich. They don't have $1 million in their bank account. So what privilege do they got? You shut up. You dummy. I don't like calling people dumb. I mean, I don't understand their brain cells these days. I don't understand the brain cells of some of these politicians getting in office. What the is wrong with you? Most of the country don't want you to defund the police department. You just pandering to the big mouths in the room. It's foolishness. Talk about privilege. Get the hell out of here with that stupid crap. You are delusional, clouded judgments. What do you expect? It's written in the Word. People should read the Bible more. Technically speaking, this has been predicted already. Blind sheep being guided down a pit. But these are wolves. Do you not know we are sheep surrounded by wolves? And technically speaking, what would people do when when sheets are lifted up from under them? They be this is hang on again, blowing out. Excuse me. They find the police. Get the freak out of here with this nonsense. You are broad stroking, generalizing police in one bubble. So all of them are bad because you don't like them. You do what is wrong, and then is mad when you get caught. And now the police are bad people. No, you're bad people. Giving in to the wicked mob because they demand stuff. They don't get to demand from the government anything. Especially if they don't make the majority vote. It should be voted on by the people, not by the politicians, but by the people. Whoever they defund the police, and they will lose each and every freaking time. You know it, I know it, and everybody in this room know it. Everybody in the world know it. They would lose every time. Demanding what them to get retry every that goes against the Constitution. You know what that's called? It's called double jeopardy. You cannot do that. You can't retry a case over again after it's been resolved already. Period. But if it gets the same result, you think they're gonna just same results and going back to jail? Because everybody thinks everybody in jail is in there because they're black. Because they're black. That's the epitome of racism. You don't know. They're doing exactly what the Klan did when they were in power. They know better. They're exactly the same thing. People crying about systematic racism but don't actually be specific. What law is in the books at this moment that is specifically racist? Can you explain to me that? What is specifically racist? What law? And I'm talking about laws that could be preventable. Like, if you stop doing X action, that law does no longer affect you, kind of thing. I'm talking about a law that affects you no matter what. That is specifically targeting you in particular. There is no law that specifically targets black people. Some for instance, doesn't necessarily target black people, but it affects them because they're the ones always doing the stupid stuff. They take it out of context because it's easy and it's a narrative. But the matter is, nobody is effective because most of the people who get stopped and pressed are doing wrong. Okay, that's what happened. Unless you had some physical evidence to point otherwise, you would not have to prove that those documents were either A, staged, or evidence was staged so that they would come up as being nefarious. Not anecdotal, like having finding one case in a bucket of sand. Somebody playing evidence on somebody. That's just one. It doesn't mean that all of them are that way because you found one. Or you found a few. You need people are being attacked because or canceled or ostracized because they don't want to accept the truth. This is the epitome of what the Bible talks about when it talks about people rejecting the truth for a lie. Rejecting the truth for a lie and being deceived. But they think the lie is the truth and the truth is the lie. They think it's right is wrong and wrong is right. everything being prophesied in the Bible, being played out, at this very moment. As I end, oh yes, I need to make a message for stupid people. Yeah, like I said it before earlier in this video that it doesn't matter what their past was. Let me be more clear. Candice Owens and both came out trying to defend each other about a video about her doing it, talking about he was a hard income. Not me. Let's be honest. We all, if you're honest with yourself, know that he was no angel. He probably wasn't. We don't know the guy. Dig the third one. You know that he wasn't an angel and whatnot. And people are like, how dare you say anything negative about our savior? People, it isn't. Let me tell you something. It isn't just the Democrats. Let's take the politics out of it for a minute and just call them what they are: wicked people. No. And then everybody's wicked, but the matter these are specifically wicked people. Egregiously evil people calling for things so that they can easily do evil stuff. You heard about what's going on over there in that free state nonsense. I don't know why these governors letting these people do this nonsense, but they are. The thing is, the moment you let anything happen in your state that causes for a takeover, you have a problem. They need to vote these people out. Y'all let these evil people in, and then you're surprised at the outcome. The best fight is to vote them dummies out. Vote them out of office, period, in the discussion. That's the way to get rid of them, is to vote them out. With that being said, you have a right to not support who you don't want to support. And I need to actually watch your video just so I can see what's going on. And I don't put people on pedestals. I'm gonna put it that way. Let's put it that way. I don't put anybody on pedestals because they're human. I don't worship anybody because they're human. If I'm gonna worship anybody, it'll be God. Okay, the only person I'm taking a knee for. Okay, only person with every knee shall bow before the Lord thy God. Every knee and tongue shall confess that He is Lord. The only person you should be confessing or putting out a knee to is God Himself, and that's the only person you're supposed to be taking a knee for. Bowing a knee to. Other than that, tell them to go kiss rocks. Okay, first of all, you don't need to support nobody you don't want to support. This is groundwork for the Antichrist. You don't understand this. That this is groundwork for the Antichrist. For the devil. He works in these type of situations. He got dummies not realizing it because they're sleeping. Sleeping on the job and they don't see it. Because the only see is always a good cause. It sounds like a good cause. So there's a lot of things that sound good that leads to death. My guy. A lot of things sound good that lead to death. Just because it sounds good, don't make it good. Just because it sounds like a thing you should stand behind, don't mean it's good. A lot of things, they have nefarious things stand behind it that you don't see, and you stand behind it, and you find yourself entrapped by it. Better be careful. But this is my message. This is love knows best. Son, no.